So, hello and welcome to Lulu's Way, healthy food, healthy life. My name is Barb, and I am grateful for the opportunity to be your host this evening. In order to keep this meeting free from distraction, we ask that all in attendance please mute yourselves unless you are speaking. We also ask that you keep the video mode turned off if you're doing anything other than sitting and participating in this meeting so that we can minimize distraction. In this community, we gather to support, encourage, and inspire the benefits of nutrition, weight loss, wellness, and the joy that comes from choosing to serve yourself well. We are not medically trained, nor do we have formal training in nutrition. We come together here for the sole purpose of providing support, sharing experiences, promoting a healthy lifestyle. It may be wise to check with your healthcare professional with any dietary suggestions or advice you receive from this group discussion, especially if you have healthcare challenges. Individuals in this group may have different ideas on how to eat healthy. Just figure out what works best for you and do it your way. The topic for today, the question we have for all of you today, what's working for you? Because we could all learn from that, right? So I've told you all that tea works for me, right? When in the evening, and when I get that feeling like I still need to eat, I drink tea. So what's working for you? What's challenging for you? And how are you managing all of the changes that you've done? You know, it's like just like one or, you know, just like one thing that maybe you'd like to share with everybody that's really positive that works for you on how you manage the challenges. Do those make sense to everybody? So what's working, what's challenging, and how are you managing the changes? Because it's a lot, right? We're all changing our nutritional plan, and sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. And so maybe somebody has an idea of what works for them, and that might resonate with somebody else. And so I think these kind of discussions are really good. Lulu, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I'll answer the questions for me.
All right. You answer, then I'll answer, and then we'll throw it out to
it sounds good. So what's working for me? Oh, my God. It's just all working for me so well. I just got back from just a getaway. I went yesterday morning to Maine to friends. I just got back. I was there, and it was like there was a crowd of people, and there was just like everybody was like smoking and coughing, and they were like the kitchen table was filled with Ziploc bags with meds, and it's like everybody's got diabetes, and they're all going to talk about diabetes, and they can't walk, and you know, they were all, you know, smoking. There was like so much, like there was never not like a joint going around, you know. And you know something? I used to partake in it all too. So it's like I'm not like, you know, saying I'm better than everybody. And then just all the junk, the nachos and the donuts and just junk, and sickness. And I just, the thought that somebody might ask me, how do you go to that party and not partake in what they're doing? Are you shitting me? You know, I don't want to be a part of that. I was so blessed the way I managed it, because I was going to be there for lunch yesterday, then dinner, then breakfast and lunch, 4 meals. So instead of packing all my food, I just packed 4 meals. I put 4 meals together, all weighed and measured out, and every time it was time for me to eat, I went and just grabbed one. I was so grateful to just be eating my big ass salad. That's what I wanted. And I was very, very grateful. And you know, as I was sitting there looking at everybody and just kind of thinking just the dynamics of just socializing, and like what this is looking like, and how I don't want to fit in. You know, I don't want to fit in that. And you know, I thought, I know I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. I don't feel like I'm better than them, but I know that I'm better off than them. I know I'm better off than them.
Yep.
I don't have an ache. I don't have a pain. I don't take a med. I get up and down. I'm moving chairs for everybody that can't move, can't pick stuff up. And these are all people my age, you know. you know, if you're in good health today, thank you, God. If you're working towards that, if you've got, and I'm not saying that like, you know, if you're on meds, you're it's bad. I'm just saying that like, if there's some meds that you can come off of, that might be around the corner for you. You never know, you know, when you start taking care of yourself. And what's challenging for me? Well, I went to my great nephew's 12th birthday party the other day, and my sister-in-law was there, and she comes over and she stands eye to eye to me and she goes, "Look at us, we're shrinking." And I was just like, I know, because her and I were tall. I was like 5'8", she was like 5'9", and we were all tall, and she was just like, "Look at how little we are." And I said, I know, it means we have to weigh less, right? And so I said, I don't know about you, but I'm 5'6". I've been 5'8" my whole life, and I slowly have gone down to 5'6". And every time I go down an inch, I change my goal weight, because I'm in a different range. I just go to the range that I'm in for my height. That's how I do it. And so she goes, "Oh, I think I might be less than that." And I said, "Well, you know something, actually, when I think about it, I haven't measured for a couple of years." So I came home and measured. I got an accurate, like I had somebody help me, so I got like a real accurate measurement, and I'm 5'5.5". I've lost another half an inch. And I'm like, well, how about that? So I love that I don't feel obsessive about that and thinking I have to weigh less. I'm going to do it on the inch, not on the half inch. I'm not going to start saying like, well, let me get this range, but then I'll divide it in half, you know what I mean, for a half an inch. I mean, I'm not going to start doing that crazy stuff, you know. But, you know, it might be in my near future that I might need to lose 5 pounds. I think it's about 5 pounds for every inch, but maybe my weight will just adjust to it. That's just how I do it. So yeah, so I guess my challenge is that I'm shrinking.
But I wonder if the exercises that you're doing, that you showed on one of your last videos, if that won't help with that. Yeah.
You mean to stop it or make me tall again?
It could, right?
Well,
like
I don't know, because when I go on my back, when I go put my back against the wall, I really go nice and tall. Like when I'm doing my exercise, I don't go like this and measure myself, you know. So it was a really, you know, lengthy measurement. You know, I was just really, the first time I did it, it was 5'5", and I was like, oh my God. And then I had someone help me so it would be more accurate, and I was off a half inch. So
were you on carpet?
I was not.
Okay, good.
I wasn't on carpet, and I just took a pencil and I went like this against the wall like that, you know. But but the person that helped me, he put a box of tissues on my head, and then made it like a level line, and then went like that on the wall, you know, against the tissues. So that was more accurate than me, you know. So it's fine. It's fine. You know, the changes that I'm managing today is that the tweaks that I made to my food plan when I needed to lose that weight when I get back from Florida, and it's going very well. I mean, I don't know. I only know how I feel, and I feel like I've taken some off this month, and that I'll probably be wrapping up that weight loss thing, and but you know, I'll know on the 1st. I just feel really good. I just feel so good. I just feel so bright, and I know it's the food I eat. I know it is. You know, it's just, you know, when they say you are what you eat, you know, you just feel so good. You know. You know, somebody messaged me the other day and said, like, you know, I'm really struggling with the food. Do you have any advice? I mean, you just got to do it. You know, you just have to do it. What advice is there? Like, you're either choosing the struggle, or you got it in ill health, and maybe overweightness, you're going to, you're choosing that instead of just eating right. And, you know, all of us here that are doing it and that are really in it and invested in it, like, it's so precious. You have to want this more than you want the food. You have to want this so much, you know, and it has to be much more than just the weight, because it's easy to make an exception for the weight, because I've said it before, if you eat a little something, you're not going to be fat the next day, you know. So it's very easy to say, well, I'll just have this cake just once, but it's not about that, because it's about what that's just going to rob me of my commitment, you know. I don't want to cheat on myself, you know. It feels like I'm cheating on myself if I did that. And you know, through my spiritual journey, I just learned to love myself like so much, like that I just don't want to hurt myself anymore, ever. It was just, I've just done that way too long, and today I just have a respect for myself and self-love, self-care, and there's many here that have the same thing. And how awesome is it that you're just being like, I'm just rocking this, I'm rocking this, you know. So anyway, so I'll finish up there. I think I answered those 3 questions pretty much.
Yeah, that's great, Lulu. Yeah, you can only hope that people kind of see the light, right, and can make the changes. And it's really a journey of an individual.
Yeah.
That, you know, you can yeah. So, you know, really quickly for me, my most challenging time is after dinner, even after I've just eaten, because sometimes I don't feel full, but I'm full and I've eaten all I'm supposed to eat, and I'm not even hungry. But and as we know, what I do for that is I drink tea. So my drinking tea helps me. I don't know what it is about the tea, but whether it just gives me something to do, but I drink chamomile tea, and it's supposed to be a calming tea, and I just forget about it. So the way I'm managing the changes, all the changes, and there was a ton for me, as there is for everybody, but I think because of my dairy and gluten sensitivities, maybe a little bit more. I'm just doing what's best for me. That's what I tell everybody. I just do what's best for me, and this is what's working for me, and I'm really happy with it. And from the day I started, I felt better, and so I knew it was the right path. And I also want to say, so I manage changes because I control them, and I enjoy the changes that I've made. So it's not even a challenge for me. This is how it is. I don't really even, for the first time in my life, I really don't care what people think. And generally I do. And so this is kind of invigorating, actually, sort of. And I was going to say something and I forgot. Lulu, you said something. What you've done over these last 2 months is a really good example for people to know that when you get into your maintenance stage, whatever that might be, we're all on a different journey. There is no timeline. We're all going to get there whenever we get there. But when we get there, if we have that little upslip, it's not the end of the world, because we have that range. We just go, oh, we're slightly out. You made slight adjustments. It wasn't drastic. You were kind to yourself. Yeah. And then within 2 months, you're back down and you're just doing your thing.
It's about still being committed. So, yeah. It's about the commitment. Yeah. You understand that? It's like the commitment, that 100% commitment. That's why I knew I was going to make those changes. And that's why when I stood on that scale and I was up 6 pounds, it wasn't anything I was freaked out about. It was like, I'm just committed now. I'm just committed. I'm still committed. If I wasn't,
it's that beautiful commitment, because I know for me in the past, when I started that creepy crawly up, it was like, threw in the towel, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. Yep. I stuck, right? Blah, blah, blah. So You know, I'm very self-critical of myself. You know, I'll be the first to say it. And so that's what I love about this plan, is that it's very easy just to make these slight adjustments to right the ship.
Yep.
Right? They're just slight adjustments to right the ship. So,
and I would do it all over again. I would go and sit on my ass in a chair for an entire winter on the beach with friends and do exactly what I wanted to do.
Oh, okay.
And I'll go up another 6 and I'll come back and take care of it. It's like if that's how it goes. You know, I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm just going to follow my food plan. I'm not going to change my food plan according to what I might do in Florida or I might not do in Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I don't know. I could be, I'm there and somebody's there and I'm walking the beach every day. And I'll be like, oh, I shouldn't have made those changes to my food plan because now I'm walking every day. I didn't think I was going to be walking every day. So I'm not doing that crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. And I don't need to intentionally get up and start burning calories because I did that for years. Like, let me earn some activity points in Weight Watchers. You know, I'm doing that just for food. I'm not doing it for my body. I'm just doing it for food. You know, I'm like, oh, if I go on the treadmill for 15 minutes, I can get 4 chips. You know, it's nuts. You know, so now it's like I'm gonna get up and move when I feel like it, and I move a lot, but I don't want to just have to do it because my weight might go up, because the only reason that would be a problem is if it wasn't going to be taken care of, if I wasn't committed anymore. Because the whole time I was gaining that weight, I was committed to my food plan.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep. Yeah. Well, that's just the guidelines and the structure, I think, is really good for me. So anyway, all right. All right, everybody, let's hear from you. We'll go with Christy first. Hi, Christy.
Hi, Christy.
Hi, everyone. Hi. I wasn't actually even going to speak today because I had a rough week eating wise. Not emotional stuff. I was just so busy this week, and I even said it yesterday. I'm so busy, and it's only Wednesday. And I guess it was more, that's where I struggle, is being more prepared. I'm not really much of a meal prepper. I usually have all the stuff in my apartment, my house, but it's like putting it together. Like when I'm really, really busy, and then I have to make the family's meal I guess dinner would be the hardest one I struggle with. I have to make their meal, and then I'm like, I really don't want to throw my stuff together now. So this week I ended up doing it like 3 times. I just had dinner that my husband and boys were eating. And I guess it would have been semi-okay if I didn't eat the bready parts of everything and just ate the protein. But I included the hero part of it. Or, I overindulged on the rice and beans more than I should have. And I don't feel like disgusted with my body afterwards, but I do feel bad because of the commitment part.
Right.
Like, what did I do? I was doing so good for, 3 weeks, and I was aiming for that. But I, shrugged it off. Each time I did it, shrug it off and move on. But the thing is, it's all a mental thing, just getting past that mental part of, don't eat that, even though everyone else is. Because I have the stuff here in the refrigerator, and then I just get so tired because I was so busy throughout the days that I'm just like, I can't make meal for them and then put my crap together. And I'm just like, So I guess that's my biggest struggle right there, is that part. What were you going to say?
If you made your meal first, if you put first, would that help, do you think?
I probably should do it that way. And that's actually how I did it for the first couple of weeks. I was making mine when I wasn't doing anything else. And then for some reason, this week was just, I don't know. It seems like I didn't even have time to sit down. But I should just, no matter what, throw my thing together, because that, like I said, pretty much it's easy. I have all the stuff. I've been really just for my two big meals, lunch and dinner, I'm literally just making a big ass salad with the protein, and for dinner I put the grains in. So it's just a matter of pulling all the containers out of the refrigerator and throwing it together, because I literally have it all there.
What about when you at lunch when you're making your big ass salad? Why don't you make two big ass salads?
I know.
All the containers are already out. Yeah, all the containers are already out. You have everything open. You make two. You cover one and put it in the fridge, and then just yeah.
Why didn't I didn't think about that?
That's okay, though, Christy, because you're new to it, right? You're new to it.
Yeah.
Right? We've all been through this.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Yeah.
And so I'm glad you raised your hand. I'm glad you raised your hand.
Me too. Where I'm doing good is, I guess, one, getting back on track fast. Like, I don't do the whole day is not a screw up. It's just like here and there. So I am pretty proud of myself about that. One of my biggest culprits of gaining weight is the evening eating, because in the nighttime, I'm more sedentary. I'm not moving around as much. So I feel like then it's just all sitting there if I'm eating until 10, 11 o'clock at night. So I think that actually is one of my biggest culprits. So I have been really good about that.
How are you managing all the changes like this?
I guess
that's kind of working it all. Together.
It's a definitely, I'm sure a lot of you can relate. It's because I don't necessarily want to do it to be thin. I want to be thinner to look good, but I just mostly want to do it for my health, to make sure I don't get to diabetes or high blood pressure, because I haven't gotten those yet. And for my kids, because they're still young enough that, I want to keep, and believe it or not, they're not like Disney park kids. They like hiking and camping and all that fun stuff and bicycling. So I have to try to keep up with them. So that's my biggest thing. But it's all mental. It's like, especially when you're not thinking about it and you're so used to eating a certain way for so many years, or just eating what everyone else is eating. And then even though I know that I'm like focused on it right now, especially since I'm just really beginning, for some reason, it just slips my mind sometimes. And then I don't realize it until I have half of the meal in my mouth. And I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I put a salad together and eat that? Or, why did I just eat this when it's not a meal time? Things like that. It's just mentally starting to wrap my head around eating healthy no matter what.
It's really as simple as like anything that you putting in your mouth that's not on the food plan. It's going to affect your goals.
Well, I know it's not going to happen all magically, because I've been trying to do better for years now. So, but now that I'm more focused and I have you guys, a group to come and be a part of, and I've actually mentioned you guys a few times to people. So, because they're like, when I am eating my salad around others, they're like, oh my God, that's great. That's good that you're doing so good and everything. Some people are very encouraging. I'm like, yeah, it's great. I'm actually involved with a group on Thursdays, and they're really helpful. And they're like, that's wonderful. And so those moments are really, pick you up and keep things going and remind me. But I did have some fallbacks this week. I was just like, I even told my kids, I'm like, I'm not talking tonight. And my oldest is like, why? Because of that bread you had yesterday? I'm like, yes. Because I feel like I almost like a relationship with you guys. Like, I feel like I'm hiding something if I don't share it.
Well, you showed up. You showed up tonight. I'm glad you showed up tonight, regardless of your week, and that, you can start fresh again. Just keep starting fresh. Good.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
I'm glad you're here, Christy.
Yeah, good job, Christy. Thank you for sharing. Because, all shares are important, Christy. All shares. We've all been there. Let's see who I have coming up next. Kathleen. Kathleen is next.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Kathleen.
Thank you for sharing, Christy. And I just want to say that you're doing the right thing. It's going to get better, and it is a challenge when you've got kids and your husband and everything. So just give yourself some, it's like a tag team. You just keep going. And I fell into that sometimes too. I'd make we make chicken thighs with the skin on them. My husband's Italian, just like Lulu. He likes the nice crispy, and I put all kinds of seasonings on it, and they're really good. And I would make a tray of that with some baked potatoes, and I would want to just, have a chicken thigh. And I just started making a change by bringing my scale to the table as we eat, and I put my plate on it, and I just take the skin off, and then I take 4 ounces of chicken. And then I take a potato, and instead of taking the whole baked potato, I just cut. So just by bringing my scale to the table alerts me to the fact that I need to be conscious of what I'm eating. That's helped me a lot. And I can still eat exactly what I put out. We're sharing a meal, and that's really helped. And so that might help. Just keep your scale in front of you, even if you're going to eat, maybe not exactly what you wanted, but just weigh it. That was one thing. And the other thing is, I did it for a full year, and at about a year of me doing it, my husband joined me in it, and we're both doing it. And he has big ass salads every day too.
Nice.
So I'm doing a lot of shopping. And the thing that's helped me the most, okay, so the challenge, one time I said, one of my challenges is I live in a real rural area. I can't run out to the grocery store. I have to do a large amount of shopping when I do it. And so that Rubbermaid Brilliance has really helped me. Those, I've talked about them before, because I can make, like Lulu said, once I get all the salad stuff out, I do 3 lunches of us for salad. So now that he's doing it with me, I have 6 of those big Brilliance things, and I make 6 big salads. And then I add, the grain and the meat, we eat meat, so the protein later. But we can just grab a salad. So like the morning that he's going to be having that salad, I add 6 ounces of sweet potato that are all diced up. And so that's been a big thing, like just preparing. There's always 3 salads in there, and they're fine. They're fine if you don't put any oil or vinegar on them or anything like that. So now you've got 3 days. So that's been a real big thing. And then I learned with my shopping, I do vegetables on one day and meat on another. And I go get all my vegetables and I wash everything, and I layer it with paper towels in those Brilliance containers. I really literally have like 25 of them. And so now I've got nice, clean lettuce that's all washed and dried in there. I can pull out the lettuce. I grate all my carrots. They're all layered with paper towels, and I grate my carrots. I have grated cabbage. I take all the peppers. I do it the day that I do grocery shopping. The vegetables, I wash everything. So all the peppers are washed, all the carrots are washed, all the radishes are washed. Everything's washed. And then I take everything and put it through the food processor and put it in those containers. So now it's all sliced, diced, and it'll keep for, it keeps for about 4 days, five days.
Especially with the paper towels, because any moisture is what makes things rot. Yeah,
it's just like even last week I did a whole bunch of peppers, and they were really watery peppers, and there were red peppers, orange peppers, green peppers. I put them all through the food processor, and I laid it with paper towels, and the next day I just changed the paper towels and turned it over, and they kept for 5 days like that. And so you've always got nice fresh things that you can just reach in and grab for your salads, and or like even in the dinner, like sometimes I just take some of that cabbage and just steam it up in a pan. So that's been huge for me, just figuring out to do things ahead. And then another day I go meat shopping, and then I separate all the meat. If I buy chicken thigh, I put them all in those Brilliance things. I do the smaller containers, so it's got 3 or 4 in there. So I can just grab, and I label everything, and I just can grab it out of the freezer. And that's like a month's worth of meat in there. So I'm not shopping all the time. I'm not like, at first I felt like, oh my God, like,
Oh, you're
I felt
freezing.
like I was-
You're freezing the protein.
yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Sometimes I cook them. I'll tell you, the chicken thighs I usually put in raw, but I get a big family pack, and I put 3 or 4 in there, and so I cook. I'll take out in the morning what we're going to cook for that day, and I have the same oven as Lulu. I just put them in there with I use parchment paper, and season them and put them in there. And I do a pork. I eat pork. I do a pork loin, and I do cut that up and cook that ahead of time and chop it up. So I have them in 4-ounce containers, so I can just add 4 ounces of that on my salad or in my dinner or whatever. I always have like 4 ounces of meat cut up in little containers. And the other thing, I have, like some people have said, how do you put all that in the fridge? In the freezer. I bought a little freezer. And that is just all my prepared or portioned meats and things in the freezer. So he can go in the other freezer and there's stuff that he might want. But the other one I know is all little containers of, 2 chicken thighs or 4 chicken thighs or, the pork loin or whatever. And then I bought a little fridge just for my salad stuff when I started doing this, because we don't have a huge fridge. So everything that's in that little fridge I know is mine. I don't have to go in and see, like when he was eating other things, I didn't have to go in and see all that. That works for us. They're just, little. But that's really helped me, like, is just the prep. So that I can just go in the freezer and just be grabbing stuff. And then if I cook stuff, I put and I do my sweet potatoes. I'll buy a whole bunch of sweet potatoes. I wash them all. I cut them in half. I put them on parchment paper. I put them in the little oven like Lulu has there, the half an hour. They're fine. I take them out and I weigh out 4 ounces in little containers. Now I've got 4 ounces of sweet potato.
Yeah.
So if I can add them on a salad, or I do them with eggs in the morning.
You are the queen. You are the queen of food prep. Like you should have the crown.
Well,
because you're doing it for 2 people. So you got one person that's trying to make their own food plan and then cooking a whole separate meal for somebody. Then you got somebody that's doing the food plan for 2.
So 2 people.
Yeah, that's a lot of slicing, a lot of dicing, a lot of weighing and measuring. Yeah.
Honestly, this is a lot more work than just making sure you had bread and cold cuts.
Yeah. Make a sandwich, honey.
That's exactly it. That's what it was. But I will say, too, to just take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
Adults and teenagers know how to find food. They will live. Just take care of yourself. And it's amazing how capable other people are if we let them be capable. Like I was doing the same thing. I was like, oh, let me make his stuff and just get that out of the way, then I'll do mine. And I stopped doing just doing this kind of food thing. You value yourself so much. Yeah. Like I value myself. Is someone else in the family going to run in and stop what they're doing and make me a meal? No, it's not going to happen. I'm worth it. I need to just take care of myself first. And not that I won't take care of everybody, but they can wait a few minutes. So
that's beautiful, Kathleen. That's beautiful. You love yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to put yourself first. Yeah.
It's very gradual.
Yeah.
It's very gradual, but it's been changing. I notice my thinking and just the little things of just allowing somebody else to take care of themselves. They're very capable too. So I would just say, just stay with it. And just when you value yourself, you will take the 10 minutes, the 15 minutes or whatever, and your family will love you for it because you will be so happy. Your marriage will be better. Your family will be better because you're taking care of yourself and you'll be happy.
Good words. Good words.
Very good. Very good words, Kathleen.
Yeah. It's hard. It's a transition, but I've seen it. I felt it. It's changed, and that's what's been good for me.
Yeah,
is that I've changed, and I can value myself, and I don't feel like I need to be invisible or be quiet or not be a bother. I'm worth it. To just ask for what I need.
Yeah.
You know?
Just beautiful.
So,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Thank you. So encouraging and so wonderful.
Wouldn't want to follow that, ladies. Wouldn't want to follow that one.
Well, I can just relate to exactly what Christy was
Yeah.
saying, so I'll
Yeah.
stop there. But thank
Yeah,
you.
that was
Beautiful.
really good.
Yeah.
Whew. That's like following.
You make me want to go and slice and dice some food and some weigh and
I
measure
know.
my meals for the next month. That's what I want to
When
do
I
after.
was walking,
I think I'm gonna go slice and dice after our meeting.
Yeah.
when I was washing everything the other day, you know, like I wash all the vegetables, the whole table's full of vegetables. They're all drying under the fans. And then, you know, then I'm slicing. And I said, I really need to get a tripod and a camera. I need to like start filming this stuff because it's taken me so long to figure this all out. You know, I've been doing it for a full year and now it's like boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
yeah.
It's, but I just kept going at it. It's like, you know,
You look
Yeah.
so good, and you look so good.
Yeah.
You look so healthy.
oh, thank you. I feel I could go on about how wonderful everything is. I'm
Yeah.
gonna save that till next week, okay?
Thanks, Kathleen.
Thank you, Kathleen. Seattle Sue,
Okay.
you're next.
I'll answer the questions really quickly. What's working for me? Lulu's Instapot recipes and toaster oven recipes. Lulu, you've saved me a lot of money screwing up vegetables. So thank you for that. And challenging for me, eating 2 meals with 16 ounces of vegetables. It's too much food. And then when you put it with coffee, oi, say no more. I'm still looking for Dandy Blend. Now I know why you went off coffee. I'm just guessing. So that's what's challenging. And I do modify it down to about 12 ounces. How to manage the challenges? Stimulus control. Even though my husband's diabetic, I don't have any diet ice cream or diet cookies in the house. The only thing in my area that's under stimulus control is the jar of peanut butter, and it's like a rattlesnake up there in the cupboard. I try to avoid it, and I do. And how the other way I manage it is I go to a support group called Lulu's Way on night. So there's my 3 answers.
Nice. So,
There
Those
it
are
is.
great.
thank you, Sue.
Done.
Thank you, Sue. Those were all, that
Yeah.
was very concise. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
very good.
Lulu's Instapot is a beautiful thing. I enjoy that as well. So
Yeah, it's,
All right.
it's foolproof. It is. It's pretty foolproof. And like you say, you know, the majority of your meal is vegetable. Like that's it's like you want them to be delicious. You want them to be the best they can be. You know, to be cooked just perfectly
exactly. Yep.
and not mush.
Nicole, you're up.
Hey, Nicole.
Hi, everybody.
Look at
Hi
you.
there.
Nicole.
I'll try to be quick too so we can hear lots more from others. But, you know, what's really working for me this time versus any other time I've ever tried anything is I'm not letting myself down anymore, period. And that's really new since I started doing this. And, you know, for me, it's remarkable. Like, yeah, that's just not what I'm doing anymore. And it's over. Like the past is over, and the trying and failing and getting back on the horse, I'm done with that. And mostly it's because of what you taught me, Lulu, when you did a video or you said something like you fired yourself. You fired yourself from managing, you know, and working out what you can do, and you just follow the plan. Like, and for me, I'm 100% kind of person. I'm very all or nothing. I don't dabble well. I don't try things out well, obviously, because, you know, look at my age and how long I've struggled. So firing myself worked for me. And I eat those 3 meals a day. If I'm not hungry, I eat my meal. I never used to have a problem eating when I wasn't hungry before I did this. You know, I ate when I wasn't hungry all the time. Like, oh, look at that. I better eat it. You know, it came to me, or
Yeah.
I went and got it, or I smell it. So, you know, it's true. The things you learn along this journey of listening to each other, like, you know, earlier in one of our meetings, someone was struggling, and Lulu, you said, you know, are you looking for a hit from the food? You know, the craving or whatever. And it's like, yeah, because if you're eating your veggies and you're sick of it or bored of it, you didn't get bored with the foods that were unhealthy. So it's really working through, what am I doing to myself, and deciding. And that's like the most powerful thing. And you can redecide every morning, but I know how devastated I used to be when I started trying, and then I would let myself down. And so I'm done with that. So what's working is really just not letting myself down, firing myself, and following the plan, because it's beautiful and healthy and golden.
Nice.
And then kind of what's challenging sometimes is, getting foods ready. And I do a lot of bulk cooking, and my husband eats a lot of the food I eat too. And so it doesn't go as far, but I always tell myself, it doesn't matter what I eat. It only matters what I eat. It doesn't have to be this meal I thought would be great, like, oh, the asparagus with this and that. And that'll be great. If I have to eat what's in the fridge or frozen veggies, or if I have to go to the store and get a bag of carrots and some hummus, I can do that as quickly as I can go find the old food, when I used to do that. And so it just doesn't matter what I eat, as long as it's on the plan and it's in the right proportions and it's in the category. It will work for me in a pinch. It'll work for me if I'm tired, so just that commitment, and so I wouldn't even say it's challenging. It's just what I do now, and that keeps me on the straight and narrow and really super happy. And then kind of one of the things I jotted down, like, how am I handling the changes? Day by day, a lot of my thoughts, when I experience something, like I went to my nephew's graduation party on the weekend. There were 2 cakes, 1 chocolate, 1 white. There was walking tacos. There was snacks galore. And I brought my own food, and I was thrilled about it. But I remember I was sitting there thinking, I used to just focus on whatever food was there. Even though it would be a momentous occasion, I was thrilled to be with my family or celebrate this thing for someone. And I was obsessed with, I got to have both kinds of cake, and maybe I can take some to go, and this is really good, and just the overeating, and really like dropping like the purpose of the visit, because the food just caught my eye and then took over my mind, even to the point where I would think things like, gosh, I hope I don't look like I'm eating too much. I mean, it was just nuts, and this time I sat there and I thought about how that used to be for me, and I'm glad I'm not doing that anymore. I was able to spy on my nephew with his friends and watch their faces when they were talking. And I talked to everybody, and I really was talking to them, not thinking like, well, I wonder if it will look weird if I go get another piece of cake, Yeah. So it just is such a blessing. So I just want to say, like, I don't ever feel like it's really hard anymore, because I want it so, so, so bad, and it's keeping me going on the right path, and it's giving me health. Like, I looked up something today because I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and they don't call it morbidly obese anymore. They call it class 3, and then there's class 2 and class 1 of obesity, which I didn't know. But your life can be shortened by 14 years just by having a BMI over 40. 14 years. And then I thought, boy, that's terrible. But then what else is terrible is how you feel if you're class 3 obese. Not just that your life might be shortened, or probably will, but what's going to happen to you. So the health aspect, I just feel like a golden thread dropped from heaven the day I found Lulu on the YouTubes, and I don't want to let it go. So that's all I'll have to say. Yeah.
That's beautiful, Nicole. I know I heard you about the being so present for being at a party, and just being so present, and just really just the food used to be everything, and it's nothing. Let me just tell you a quick story. I went to my great nephew's birthday party this week, and I brought my meal with me, and we all sat down, and I had my meal, and they had their meal, and then so now they were doing the birthday cake and the ice cream and stuff. So everyone's yelling out like, "Yeah, I'll have." They're like, "What kind of ice cream do you want?" Blah blah blah. So my cousin says to me, "Tell Laura that you want a piece of cake. See what she does." Right. So she did it. So I stopped laughing. So she goes, Laura, your aunt here. She wants cake. She wants the mint chocolate chip ice cream. And my niece was like, really? And it's like, that's just what happens when you do the same thing for years. Like anybody now, it's like it's a joke. Like if I want to have that, it's a joke. You know what I mean? And like my niece was like, no, and it's just like, oh, I was the one that would like walk in and say, no, I'm not going to have any cake because I'm on a diet. And then by the time the cake come out, I would have it because somebody would say, oh, just have a small piece. All right, I'll have a small piece. No more. And I'm just I loved being present for that party. So I really felt you
Me too.
there with those people and the kids' voices and spying on them. And I just felt that, because it's a whole different experience. When people are like, how do you go to a party? Yeah, something, there's nothing like it. When you go in there and you got your fingers in everything to eat. And that's all you're thinking about, It's a whole different...
For sure.
Or even Christmas. How can you have a Christmas without... Try it. Because it's really good when it's not about food. It's really
even
different.
my aunt said something like she's pretty healthy, but she was talking out loud and she's like, well, I can't wait to get a piece of cake because you only live once. And I thought, I only live once, and so I don't want to like go down that path.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The other thing I wanted to say, Nicole, is that, I have heard that as well. If your BMI is greater than 40, that it will shorten your life by 14 years. But conversely, if your BMI is less than 40, perhaps you gain that 14 years. Right? I don't know if that's true. But I'm going to say it's true because it seems logical to me.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah. You will live longer.
And better.
In general.
It's really about living better.
And better.
You know what I mean? It's really about the quality. Less about the quantity and more about the quality. It's just really great to just feel good every day,
Exactly. I like feeling good.
Groovy.
All right. Okay. Where are we? T, you're up. Hi, T.
Hi,
I don't
T.
think I met you.
I know.
Are you
T's
new
new in town.
I am new.
Hi, T.
I figured I'd jump in and not take up too much time, but just introduce myself and say hello to everyone. First meeting, excited to be here. Actually, I jumped in last week, but I was a little late. So, and then towards the end of it, everybody got up and started dancing, and I was like, "What's happening? what are we doing?" But I watched some more of Lulu's videos, and I learned that that's a thing here. So I can't wait for that. So I've been watching your videos, Lulu. Thank you so much. You're just amazing. Your wisdom and everything, it just clicked with me. I discovered van life like 6 months ago, and that's how I came across your videos and was wondering, how am I going to eat on the road as a vegan doing van life? I don't have my van yet, so I'm working on that, and just mentally preparing for that transition into van life. And I was like, how am I going to stay healthy? How am I going to do this? And then stumbled over your healthy eating videos, and I was like, whoa! I was like, that's perfect.
You can do it.
And just the way you just organize everything, and then very particular, it just falls right in line with my personality and the way I do things. I call it OCD, but that has a negative connotation.
Yeah.
But I am, very particular, and I'm like, that's me. I'm 55 years old, right? I just turned 55 last week.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And I'm like, I want that mindset when I am, 10 years from now or whatever, and I'm living on the road. So, I just am so grateful to be here. I planning on starting this meal plan on Monday, this coming Monday. So I have my big ass pie pan. It's beautiful. I have my Instapot, and I went today and got all my non-perishables, and I'm just giving myself this time to prepare, mentally prepare and get things in order. So I could, on Monday, that's my day. And I've already had the mental shift just listening to Lulu and Barb and all the gold nuggets y'all put out there. I felt it. Like, I instantly quit sugar. Like, I don't even want it anymore, I was smoking, like 1 or 2 cigarettes a day. I'm like done with that. I've been doing that for like 10 years.
Good for you.
Yeah, and just knowing I needed to quit, but never knowing how, or never caring, not caring enough to quit. And that just stopped instantly, like last week. Like no craving, no anything. It's all mental, and so, I feel like I'm ready. I'm only about 20-25 pounds over the weight I want to be. So I don't have that far to go, but it's not even about the weight for me. It's about feeling good.
I was going to ask you what your goals are and what you want to achieve. So you'd like to lose like 20-25 pounds, and you just want to feel good, and you want to be consistently feel good.
For the rest of my life. Yes.
Like Kathleen was saying, you just love yourself too much to be messing around with that stuff anymore.
Yeah, I'm done. That's behind me, all the back and forth. I'm a sugar addict. I did a kitchen cleanse this morning. So went through my cabinets. I got rid of like 4 trash bags of poison. You know what I'm saying? Just food with junk in them, reading the ingredients and stuff. So...
And I was 55. I was 55 years old when I started. So, and I'm 65 now. So I've been doing this for 10 years, and it's been a very good investment in myself.
Yep. So I'm just excited, as you can see. I'm ready to jump in, and I love all you guys. I've listened to all your testimonies on Zoom, on YouTube. So thank you for having me, and I'm just happy to be here.
It's nice to have you here. And thank you for sharing with us.
Yep. Yeah, T, I love your energy. Your energy is just really good.
Yeah, she's like, I'm done.
Really good
I'm done.
I'm done.
I love it.
Love you guys.
Oh,
great. So,
excellent.
Yeah, so this is actually a really good time because Monday is the 1st.
Yep.
Yeah,
and we all weigh in. We all weigh in once a month.
In general, you might know this. Most people weigh in on the 1st.
That's why I did that. Yeah, so I could jump in on the cycle. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Others have a little bit of an issue with that. We won't talk about me, but I weigh weekly because I like data T. I don't know if you know this, but this is me. Yeah. But most everybody will check in on the 1st of the month. So all right. I think it's Pam. We'll go with Pam. T. Did Pam leave?
There she is.
Pam stepped away. Pam,
I'm back. Only for a hot second. Just a quick second.
Oh, no. It's okay, Pam.
Hi, Pam.
No, I'm good. Okay, let's say hi, everybody. Welcome, T. So nice to have you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'd say the thing that's easy now is the planning and the prepping. It's key. I cook 2 to 3 times a week, and then other than that, everything's in containers, so I can just there's some kind of a protein usually made for 2 to 3 days, or I have beans and tofu and things like that. But vegetables, grains are usually just all made. And then I can pick and choose. So if I don't feel like rice tonight, there's a potato also made. So I try to have myself options because I don't mind eating the same things, but I also like to make different combinations with different seasonings. That's fun for me. And doing the creative stuff like my spaghetti and meatball dinner tonight was cabbage and tofu with spaghetti sauce. But it was so good. I just wanted that Italian food. I wanted that taste, and it totally did it. Totally satisfied that need. And the other big thing that I do find works for me, and I know it's not quite the exact plan, but as I shift my meals, and because no matter how many times I've tried, the evenings were just the biggest challenge for me. And I decided to, back in February, instead of cheating or having something, I switched. I don't eat in the morning. I don't eat until 12:31. I fast. Then I have lunch, dinner, and breakfast around 8. And I haven't had a thought or a desire to eat anything other than those 3 meals, having them at those times. As long as I don't start eating in the day, if I start in the morning, then I want to eat all day. So I figure I just start later, and then I get to eat my big meals closer together, and it's working. I mean, I'm losing the weight, and I don't feel like I'm sacrificing or missing anything, or I just feel like it fits the way I want it to fit. So that's something I do. And then I think one of the biggest challenges is I have to know my body and my health issues, and I have to remind myself of those things sometimes. This week I was a little under the weather and not feeling my best, and I just have to keep recognizing that and knowing it's okay to have a couple days of rest and not have to go out there and go for walks and push myself. And the budgeting is it's getting better, but it's always a challenge because sometimes I'd like to just run to the store and go grab something I'm in the mood for. But if I'm out of it, I have to just use what I have, and that's okay too. But sometimes it's a challenge, and I think the best way I'm managing everything is the structure. And I'm very fortunate and grateful that I have the ability in my schedule that I don't have to go to work or have children to take care of, and it can be about me now. So I recognize that it's a blessing. And if I had young kids like Christy, I give yourself the grace. You'll get there because it's hard. It's hard. And now I can say, no, I don't go out until 1:30 after my meal is done, period. I do my errands in the morning to keep myself busy, and then I'm not getting hungry. And then I come home, we go for a walk, I have my lunch, then I can go out with a friend or do something. And, my life right now accommodates that, and I'm very lucky for that. But that's the best way, is keeping that schedule, very tight schedule. Everybody, my mom will go, can you come over? I'm like, she's like, well, you can't come till after 1, right? So, they know my schedule, yeah. And everybody's very supportive of it. And one other little thing is, Christy, I know with your cooking, my son's an adult, but he does live here with me. So of course I still like to cook for him. But I made him a pot of spaghetti, meat sauce and spaghetti, and that way, and then in 2 days when I cook again for myself, I'll throw a couple burgers on while I'm making my food, and then he has choices. So if he gets home from work at 10:30 at night, a lot of nights, so he's got easy choices, and then he'll make a big salad with it, and he's fine with that. So I try to just get him a couple things prepped and my prepped at the same time. It's just because I got sons that I feel the need to take care of. I only got one left in the house, so.
Yeah, that's okay.
But yeah, no, and this thing is what helps me a lot. In my brain, I don't pull it out, but this cycle of overeating, I bring out in my head, I bring out whenever I'm thinking, oh, well, I've been really good. I've lost 70 pounds. I get one little thing's not going to hurt. And then I think this thing jumps into my head. And I realize what I'm doing. And then I just don't do it. So this whole thing, this comes into my head a lot. Yeah,
Nice.
but yeah, I don't even need to bring the paper out anymore. I visualize it immediately.
Yeah.
And I realize that I'm rationalizing and doing all those things.
Yep. Good job.
So
Yep.
yeah.
You got your little.
And this support is
You got your
the best.
toolbox. You got your toolbox full of tools.
Yeah, I have a whole notebook from our meetings.
Yes.
I'm like you, Barb. I take notes on every meeting. I have a whole notebook.
Ah,
Yeah.
those too.
It helps me stay focused. When I have a thought, I won't forget it generally.
And I mean, I look
do
back
have a thought.
occasionally.
Hmm?
I said, and I look back through it occasionally and say, oh yeah, I forgot about that, or just little things.
Yeah.
No.
You know what I love most, Pam, about your story is I know that you're on a tight budget. You've talked about that a little bit, so I think we're aware of that. And yet, here you are eating healthy on a tight budget.
And it was always one of my excuses.
Yeah.
Is that you couldn't eat healthy because of your tight budget, but you can. You have to be mindful of it, right?
Yes.
And plan, and that's where you said planning and prepping. That has really helped you, allowed you to do that. So, I mean, you're just a walking bulletin board for this program in that.
I'm like,
and that, you're showing that you can, be on a tight budget because, we've all used that as an excuse as, it's too expensive to eat healthy. And it can be. You can make it.
And it is.
Make anything expensive, right? Sorry
but you can cut other places that you don't even notice that you have to cut.
Right.
And it's all worth it. Like, it's okay. Like, there's certain little things, $10, $20 here or there, that I now put in the grocery budget that I don't need to go to the dollar store or, do something else for fun. I just don't have to do that. And my son, I yell at him all the time. You better eat those coconuts I bought you because they're going to expire. You better hurry up and eat them. I ain't wasting my money.
Yeah. Another thing else with the like if you go to the grocery store and you eat, you're going to get all healthy food opposed to junk food. Mm-hmm. It will be more expensive. That's if you're comparing your grocery bill. But if you're eating the groceries and that's what you're going to eat, and now you're not coming home with the cheaper food, and then also going and grabbing McDonald's, going and ordering a pizza, going out for an ice cream, all that stuff adds up. That's all. And so it's not more expensive really, because you're saying no to all that. Like restaurants don't get any of my money. Bars don't get any of my money, and convenience stores don't get any of my money, and they always got a lot of my money,
Right. And even as simple as a Dunkin' Donuts coffee used to be like maybe once a month a treat, but it's like $5 now.
Yeah.
I ain't buying that.
Yeah. So when you're going to the grocery store, like if you're comparing your grocery shopping, that's one thing, but it's not all that you're eating for the week. If you're not, but.
Right. That's what I mean. You can always pull enough money from other places you're wasting money that you don't realize you're wasting money on.
Right.
You can find it.
Yeah.
And figure it out.
You found it.
I'm figuring it out.
Great job, Pam.
Good for you. Good.
Carol. Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hi.
It's good to see you.
Hey, just in case you don't know, because you're new here, Carol is my sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There we go.
He usually says my oldest sister, but
it's our old sister.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll be brief. I'm kind of with Christy this week. I really had a bad week, but what I have decided is that I'm going to have bad weeks. I'm not as strong as, some people are. And I'm just I'm not beating myself up about it. I don't even need to forgive myself. It's done. It's now in the past. It's over here. And I move on. And, so it's a challenge. Sometimes I just have been in a funk this week, and when you're not feeling yourself, it's it's tough. It's tough to do a lot of stuff. So I haven't been sleeping right, whatever, all the excuses. But so, the things that I did eat, I'm not going to name them, but I did enjoy them. And I decided, that's it, and get back on track. But I think really the important thing is that we don't beat ourselves up about it. If we have something, we have it. And then we get back on track as quickly as we can, and not start over, but just carry on, and just, I am lucky, fortunate or whatever, that, our vegetables have started coming in. So, we have squash and zucchini and cucumbers and all kinds of good stuff in our garden. And, I put in some Korean spinach and broccolini. So, that will all be great, don't even have to go to the store, just go down the garden, pick it and prep it. So that I am grateful for, that we have that. And besides that, I'm looking forward to next week. I hope, this past week doesn't blow next week, from last month.
Then we kind of talked about this today, Carol, that we both had, so Carol went out. We spent the day together on Tuesday with our other sister, and we were out in the sun all day. And then the next day, I was wiped. Yesterday, I was wiped out. I did nothing. I just had a total rest day. But it does put you, when you're in that kind of reduced kind of mental awareness, it makes you, I feel like it makes you vulnerable. It made me vulnerable. I felt like I had an endless pit yesterday. I couldn't eat enough. But, yeah. So, it happens, right? I mean, you get into those places where you don't feel yourself, so you don't have the resolve, perhaps. Is that true?
You have to pull out the good parts too. I didn't really eat in between meals.
Right.
I maybe ate the wrong foods, but I didn't eat in between meals. And I have the wheel somewhere, but it's also in my head. And I was aware of what I was doing, and, it's just tough sometimes. So,
yeah. Yep.
I'm still on the journey. I'll be back.
It's a lifelong.
I'm glad you're here.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Good. And I think Pam said it. Well, everybody really has said it. I am so grateful for this group, because sitting here listening to everybody, and their suggestions and their confessions and their, and just, how they do what they do. It gets me through the week usually. I don't know what you guys did last week, but I didn't have a good week this week, but usually it does, So I have to keep that in mind too, that got to show back up and fess up. So that's a good reason to try to stay on track.
Yeah. Well, know, if you stay on track, you feel better, and you'll get those results you want with your blood sugar numbers and everything. It just affects everything. So
good.
Just recommit. Recommit.
All right.
Recommit.
Just
Thanks,
a quick
Carol.
question. As I'm doing my meal planning, there's this soup that I like. It has green beans, zucchini, parsley, onions, and garlic. And you cook it in some water, and then throw it in a blender, and you make soup. That's your soup. How would I weigh? Do I just weigh like 16 ounces of the soup? Because it's mostly water, or not mostly, but a lot of water.
I would, if I was going to make soup, I would weigh the vegetables first. I would make a single serving. I would get 16 ounces of veggies, cook them, put them in the blender, add the water, blend it up, and eat the whole thing.
Okay.
That's how I do it. That's how I would do soup. Yeah.
That's different than the way I do it, but I can certainly switch it up.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the way, because of the water, soups are like once in a great while, I'll have a bowl of soup, and I'll just grab 16 ounces of whatever vegetables I have, and a lot of times they're just cooked, and I dice them all up, and I dice up the protein, and I maybe the rice, and then I just put it all in with like vegetable broth, and it's like a meal. It's just like a meal underwater, really.
Yeah.
and then whenever I have it, it's good, and it's very, very filling, because like when you're eating with the spoon and you're like slurping it in and stuff, I think you get a lot of air too, and it's just very, very filling. But whenever I'm done with it, as delicious as it is, I'm always like, I would just rather have my food not underwater. I would rather just have just my meal on a fork, But then once in a while, I'll still grab the a soup from time to time.
I think I'm dealing with some digestive issues. I think I want to have the soup for my dinner, so it's lighter on my system before I go to bed. I'm gonna try it out, but that would be the main reason. Yeah. Okay.
So do you think you'll have issues with having that many vegetables, like 16 ounces?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think having all the veggies now will probably help reverse the problem.
Oh, good.
But I think that when I eat too late, I don't digest well.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just have to monitor it as I go. Maybe it won't be maybe that late night big salad won't be an issue for me anymore. But I wanted to start off at least next week with the soups at dinner.
But you're gonna eat dinner like really late?
No, I was actually planning on like doing it early, just for that reason alone, so I don't go to bed.
And then so if you're having dinner like 5 or 6, and then and then I always say, kitchen's closed. It's over. The next time I'm going to eat is in the morning. It doesn't matter if I'm hungry, I'm not hungry. It doesn't matter. When I wake up the next morning is when I eat again, and it's just it serves me well.
Yep, that's the motto.
And T,
I'm doing it. Yeah.
If you have any questions throughout the week as you start this, throw them up on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Okay.
We love to help everybody out. So
because everybody will be answering.
Yeah, everybody reads it. So
yeah.
We try to.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
I just see a new face. I see Diane. Do you want to just say hi, Diane? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm putting you on the spot. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Lulu. Hello, everyone. I was in Nashville a couple weeks ago with my sister, and she said, because we're both kind of thinking about the van life thing, and she said, but you should listen to this woman, Lulu. She really seems a lot like you. And I'm like, okay. And, you're kind of perfectionistic and regimented about certain things. And it's like, man, do I need to do that in my life? I just feel like I've been on so many diets and I've been successful at times, but this has been a lifelong period. And I'm like all about truth and trust. And one of the things you said somewhere in your videos was that you were tired of lying to yourself. And man, is that the truth for me. I'm so sick and tired of not being truthful to myself, and I'm just ready to get down to business. So I'm into this about 2 days now. I do have a 93-year-old mom that lives with me. And so I cook for her. And of course, she wants a lot of the old time foods, the mashed potatoes and this and that. But, so far I'm finding a way to make it fit. So
good for you, Diane.
Yep. Moving forward.
Yep. It's time to reinvent yourself.
And I'm
excellent.
And honor yourself.
Diane, I'm so happy you're here.
Yeah, I'm happy you're here too, Diane.
So I am too. Thank you.
So next week is on the we weigh in on the 1st. Most of us do this. We weigh on the 1st, and then the meeting following that, which will be next Thursday, we all talk about our results and how we feel like the month went, and we're honoring ourselves. We're heading towards our goals. We don't have to race to them, but we want to be heading that way. So Good. We're glad you're here. Okay.